fellow coffee consumers and crime connoisseurs. Welcome to the 11th episode of Mugshot Mornings, where we explore true crime one sip at a time. Today's case is pretty intense. It does revolve around a teenage killer who killed her grandparents just because they were trying to help her. So in April 2017, Cassandra Bjorge, a 17-year-old from Gwinnett County, Georgia, shocked the community when she, along with her boyfriend, brutally murdered her grandparents, Randall and Wendy Bjorge. Cassandra, also known as Cassie, who had been living with her grandparents, meticulously planned the crime using a tire iron, hammer, and knives to end their lives. After the murders, she and her boyfriend stayed in the house with the bodies for days, even inviting friends over, all while concealing the gruesome truth behind a closed door. The case took a darker turn as authorities uncovered the couple's elaborate plans to continue their killing spree. Eventually cornered by the police, Cassandra and her boyfriend attempted suicide but were captured and brought to justice. The shocking crime left many questioning what could drive a young girl to commit such a horrific act against the very people who raised her. Now, we are going to get into some updates because I know I didn't post last week and there was a lot of reasonings behind that, but let me give my coffee update of what we're drinking on and then we'll get into it. So, I went to Scooters again, of course, and I know I've drank a little bit of it. I know y'all can see it. It's not my first time trying it. I did get an iced pumpkin caramelicious with oat milk. I added pumpkin cold foam to it. Here's the thing, I don't like pumpkin spice. I don't like PSLs, but I love the fall coffees. I love whenever they do like the maple, I love the apple, I love pumpkin, except pumpkin spice. Something about the Starbucks pumpkin spice is just chemically, and I can't do it. But I really like it anywhere else. Seven Brew has good pumpkin. Obviously, Scooters has really good pumpkin. I don't remember last year, the coffee shop that I normally go to before work, I don't remember if he did pumpkin or not, but it doesn't matter. Another update. Last week I did not post because some people were asking why I didn't post. I had so much going on last week that I didn't even have time to sit down and film. I ended up buying a new car. And I say new, it's a used car, but I went from having a brand new car. I was the first owner. I went from having a car that I got myself for graduation as a present to myself for graduating with my master's. But with how, I hate to be this person, but with just genuinely how expensive everything has gotten over the past year for sure, I got to where, like, I was easily affording the payments, but we didn't have enough money to like put back for savings to go do things. It was just getting to the point where it was like, it's not fun anymore. I would rather be able to go and do the things that I love and enjoy and then have a luxury car later. I say luxury. My old car wasn't luxury. It was a 2023 Trailblazer, but I ended up getting a 2022 Toyota Corolla, and I'm saving a good amount per month, and that is the main thing. A car can get me places, and I want my car to get me to places that I enjoy, like shopping. I haven't had, like, I literally can't go, like, month to month. And I'm not trying to, like, tell everybody my business, but I'm trying to make it realistic. I've been seeing a lot of, like, decorate my new car with me on TikTok, and it's like a $60,000 car, and I'm like, how? Like, how in this time, like right now? I just can't. It's been hard, and then I had so much stuff to do for school last week, and then now I have like a month break, thankfully, and so on top of buying a car, schoolwork, I was behind on reports in my main job. It was just a lot, and I just did not have a good mental health week last week as well. I was not in the mood for any of it, and then I ended up working 2 days extra that I normally don't, so it was a lot, okay? I appreciate everyone's patience. Homer, I think I talked about him either the first or second episode. I think it was the second episode. Y'all, he's a menace. Now that he's opened up to everybody. He ate drywall. And trim in the kitchen. And I mean, he's munching on it a lot. it's gone in a way. Can someone also help me figure out how to stop dogs from digging in the yard? We have a fenced-in backyard, and this little dude keeps running around and digging holes in every single corner. I am going to do something a little bit different today. I have the thing, my script that I usually have, but I will be reacting to the perpetrator's interrogation, the murderer's interrogation, and I wanted to do that just to see if that's something that people will like, see if that's something that y'all would like for me to do. We are just going to go ahead and jump into the case. Let me take a quick sip first. So all the ice is gone. I don't know why they give me like 7 ice cubes. I need to start asking for extra ice. Let's jump into today's story, everyone. So, Cassandra Bjorge, also known as Cassie, which I will refer to her during the video as Cassie, was born and raised in Duluth, Georgia by her mother Amanda and grandparents Wendy and Randall Bjorge. Her mother Amanda needed extra help raising Cassie, as when she got into her teenage years, she became incredibly rebellious. She started being very defiant, started drinking, smoking, started skipping school, and even racked up some criminal charges of shoplifting and domestic assault. Her mother stated that Cassie ran away from home often when she would get upset about something or just would not get her way. Amanda, her mother, described Cassie as a troubled teen who was just completely out of control for a really long time. In October 2015, her parents, Wendy and Randall, got custody of her in hopes of having a positive influence on her life. They were both in their early 60s and lived in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which was roughly only about 30 minutes away from her hometown of Duluth. They were really well-respected members of their community. They were really well known in their neighborhood, along with everyone just having only positive things to say about them. Their kindness, their willingness to help others, just really good people. However, Cassie's behavior actually got worse once she moved in with her grandparents. She grew to be more hostile and defiant after they would give her strict rules of not being able to stay out late, no longer smoking or drinking, and that she needed to attend school. But by the age of 17, she dropped out of school and was on probation for various legal charges. Cassie and her grandmother Wendy butted heads almost daily. Wendy would remind Cassie of the rules when she would break them and just started to give repercussions like taking away her cell phone or even grounding her. It was mainly just simple discipline that most parents give their children who are acting out or being poorly behaved. Her grandparents were really just trying to give patience and grace despite her behavior because they truly wanted a long-lasting change in Cassie's life. She really just needed some guidance and stability, and that's what they were trying to provide for her. Between the years of 2016 and 2017, over 31 calls were made to police about domestic disturbances. 18 of the calls were from Cassie's grandparents because Cassie had run away. 9 of them were from neighbors hearing loud noises and altercations coming from the house, and other calls were fights between Wendy and Cassie. One time, Cassie was caught underage drinking, and she threw a glass at her grandmother when Wendy approached the situation. The responding officer stated that Cassie was extremely belligerent and disrespectful. She was screaming, insulting, and just had extremely poor behavior when dealing with the police along with her grandmother. Now keep in mind, this had not been even 1 full year of Cassie moving in with her grandparents, so that many calls were made regarding her defiant and aggressive behavior towards her grandparents in less than 12 months. On April 1st, 2017, Wendy posted on Facebook that Cassie had run away again and asked her friends and family to please be on the lookout for her. Unfortunately, this would be Wendy's last Facebook post. After 1 day, Wendy had not responded to calls or even comments on the post asking for new information about where Cassie was. This went on for almost 5 full days before people realized, okay, something's pretty wrong here. This is not like Wendy. She normally always answers her phone or at least comments back. We know that she's on Facebook at least daily. People were just kind of speculating something might have happened to her. One family member called for a wellness check, so police responded and drove over to the Bjorge home. After they knocked and received no answer, they looked around and saw that their vehicle was missing. Police believed that maybe they were fine, they had just taken out the truck to run errands, and they didn't have anything to worry about. They could also not force their way into the home without reasonable suspicion. The following day, the family called the police again because they had still not heard from Wendy, Randall, or Cassie. Police went over to the house and knocked, looked through windows, but everything was quiet and peaceful again, so they could not forcefully break into the home yet again. On this same day, Cassie's boyfriend, Johnny Ryder, also had police called on him after someone at his house had called for a domestic dispute. When police arrived at the home, Cassie and Johnny were not there. The people who had called happened to be Johnny's sister and her boyfriend, and they told police that Johnny and Cassie had just attacked them. They told police that when they arrived, they found their home to be completely ransacked. They entered a room to find Johnny and Cassie standing there, smiling and staring at them. Before they could even react, Johnny pepper sprayed his sister and started assaulting her boyfriend, while Cassie started beating his sister with a baseball bat. Ultimately, Johnny and Cassie fled the home in Johnny's sister's vehicle. After police assessed the scene, they realized that a vehicle that was left at the home happened to be the missing vehicle of Wendy and Randall Bjorge. They knew that Wendy and Randall had been reported missing for a few days, so now this started a new investigation. Officers went into the Bjorge's home and forced their way inside. Immediately, they were hit with a very distinct smell of decomposing bodies. It was guaranteed that they would find the bodies of Wendy and Randall somewhere in the home. And unfortunately, they came across a gruesome scene upstairs. Wendy and Russell were found badly beaten, their throats were slit, and multiple stab wounds were found on their bodies. Investigators knew immediately that this is likely to be Cassie and Johnny. Wendy and Randall were found almost at midnight, so in the early hours of the following morning, the search for Johnny and Cassie began. Thankfully, police did not have to search for long, because Cassie and Johnny ended up fleeing to a friend's apartment, which was not far from Johnny's house. A SWAT team showed up at the apartment, as the suspects inside were known to be very dangerous based on the murder scene and brutal attack on Johnny's sister and her boyfriend. Also, they had refused to vacate the apartment. So once SWAT entered the apartment, Johnny and Cassie were found with self-inflicted wounds that indicated that they had tried to commit suicide instead of facing the repercussions for their actions. However, they both were alive and they were taken to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. So before we kind of watch her interrogation, let's recap the timeline so far, and I'll give dates and I guess kind of timestamps if there were any. April 1st, 2017, Wendy makes the post regarding Cassie's whereabouts, wondering where Cassie is. April 6, 2017, at 6:09 p.m., a welfare check was requested at the residence by a family member, but police did not have any suspicion, so they left. On April 7th at 4:43 p.m., another welfare check was requested, but again, when police arrived at the home, they didn't have any suspicion, so they left. April 8th, 8:30 p.m., Johnny's sister and boyfriend called the police to report the assault made by Cassie and Johnny. Also, at the time, Wendy and Randall's vehicle was found at the home. April 8th, 11:13 p.m., Wendy and Randall were discovered and pronounced dead. April 9th, 3:57 a.m., the sister's stolen vehicle was found at the apartment complex. April 9th at 9:54 a.m., SWAT arrives at the apartment complex to try and get Cassie and Johnny out of the apartment. April 9th, 12:13 p.m., SWAT enters the apartment and finds the couple with self-inflicted knife wounds on their wrist and transports them to a hospital. Now, this is where we're going to get into the reaction, I guess. I have not seen it. I have only seen the clip on TikTok, and that's what made me think maybe I should get a live reaction on my podcast. I think that'd be cool. So Cassie was brought in to be interviewed, and instead of me watching it and putting it in the video, we should just watch it together and analyze it and put it on the podcast. I'm just going to get my real reaction to her behavior. I have not seen this fully, and we'll just kind of go over the story that she tells about the previous events over the past week or so, leading up to her arrest. Okay, so this is an hour long, so I will be cutting some stuff just for time, and I want to give credit to who I am watching this from. It is Red Tree Stories here on YouTube. He has the full interrogation. So I will be cutting a lot of this for time. Some things I will give like a summary of the timeline if I don't think that's really necessary to watch. But a full hour of just watching is going to be really boring for people. So I'm just going to be cutting a few things. So let's watch it together. Let's start off. I'm on my big computer over here and analyze it. I guess I feel kind of crazy saying this, but from a psychological perspective, because I do work with psych patients, so I can analyze this, I feel like, pretty well. So let's start.
This is 17-year-old Cassandra Bjorge. Cassandra is about to be interrogated by the police regarding the violent murder of both of her grandparents. As the detectives uncover the truth about what happened, they will begin to realize that they are talking with a heartless serial killer.
A couple napkins here.
I don't think I've met you before, have I?
No,
McDonald's.
Do you remember my name? Coolness.
Coolness?
Coolness.
Really?
Swear.
Swear.
Okay, so already starting off, 32 seconds in. So not only does she look extremely young, you could tell that this girl is very young. She was 17 at the time of the murders, but the detective, I'm assuming, is trying to... It's a tactic that's used with trying to get people to open up more. You get them what they want. I don't know if she requested McDonald's, but they got this girl McDonald's. You know, she's being friendly with her. So Cassie is saying, like, do I know you? And trying to, I guess, make her like more relaxed and a little bit more comfortable, because then you start talking more. So getting her McDonald's might have helped them get the true story.
That's probably why I was class clown 25.
Miss Coolness. That's a pretty
Miss Coolness, Shannon Coolness, whatever you want.
She right here is already saying, like, you can call me whatever you want. That's another tactic that's used to get them to open up more and make you feel more comfortable and more friendly. So she's saying, like, this is my name, but you can call me whatever.
That's pretty... I mean, you look familiar.
Yeah?
But I couldn't, like... I don't remember.
You see if big man wants this. I have to use the little girl's room.
Okay.
He'll be right back in with you. And I'll... Don't spit in this drink.
I won't.
Is anything in that bag gonna help you right now?
No.
Because it's not utensils.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab it and put it out here.
Okay.
If you need anything, just help me.
Okay.
Cassandra's grandparents, Randall and Wendy Bjorge, had taken her in when she was 16. Cassandra was a problem child, and her grandparents hoped that they could straighten her out. Within the first year that Cassandra was staying with them, the police would be called over 30 times. Cassandra would continuously run away from their home, and on one occasion, she assaulted her grandmother.
She has hands. Like, I'm sorry. She has hands. I don't know why she's eating her fries like that, but whatever. And also, I didn't know he was going to start talking, so he's also helping analyze, so that's really cool.
As time went on, Cassandra would begin dating 19-year-old Johnny Ryder, and she was able to convince him to help her kill her grandparents.
What type of music you listen to?
I like well, not everything. I'm pretty open-minded.
You
Except
don't like country, do you?
I don't like country. I really don't like country.
We can be friends then. I'm not into country.
I've tried, but no. It doesn't... I can't vibe with it. How am I so full?
Oh, see, we told you.
Well, you have been in a hospital and you're eating hospital food, so...
This makes me so disappointed.
I don't know. She said she could eat 2 McChickens and she barely made it through, what is it, a quarter past?
Those hospital food, like, was messing me up.
You did talk a lot of smack, though.
I can't eat this whole thing.
I'm not gonna make
I don't want to get you sick.
I'm not gonna make you throw it up.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip a little bit, only because right now they're just letting her eat. They're also eating with her, so I'm assuming, again, to make her more comfortable. they're not just sitting there staring at her, watching her eat, making her answer questions. Like, they're also eating at the same time. I guess it's like hey, we're your friends, we're eating together, and it'll make her more comfortable and open up. But let's see, I'm going to skip forward to see if she starts talking or if it gets into the story.
The detectives do their best to make Cassandra comfortable. They buy her food, and they talk about her hobbies, and they even laugh at jokes with her as if they had been friends for a while. After they finish their meal, the detectives begin talking about why Cassandra is there.
Well, obviously, I'm the guy kind of in charge of what's been going on, I guess, the past week, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Investigator Ryan Thurman, or Investigator Thurman, the guy that you talked to yesterday, I guess.
Oh, was he... How can I describe it? Was he like the tall?
He's a short
The
dude.
shorter one? Okay, so he was the direct attorney?
Yeah, he's an investigator for the
Yeah,
district attorney
okay,
office,
yeah. I worked with him before. He was helping me with the case that I had with my stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think of that tall guy?
He was okay. I feel like I've met him before. I think I met him when I went to court once, but he was okay.
Yeah. Just wondering.
Sort of weird.
Sort of weirdo?
Sort of weird.
And you remember when I came in yesterday, I just asked you a couple questions?
Yeah.
Remember I made fun of myself because your Graham's password was 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4?
Yeah. It was. I always did that with all of my phones. I don't like complicated passwords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I used to do all zeros.
That's a good one.
Well, I don't want, kind of to make you upset or make you relive anything, but I just got some follow-up questions I'd like to ask you. Do you remember when you read your rights and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you understand all them?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to read them again just to make sure that I guess he read them right. You never know. And then I'd just like to ask you some questions, no stress, and then go over some stuff. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess your boyfriend Johnny,
Mm-hmm.
how long you date that dude for?
Like 3 months.
3 months.
3 months. That's not funny, but I'm 3 months that they were together and they decided let's kill your grandparents. And I'm not saying that's good even 3 years. I'm just saying, like, that is a short amount of time. That's insane. 3 months. I expected longer. I don't know. Hold on, let me back up. I know there are a lot of cases that talk about how, I say a lot, I don't know, probably a lot, but I guess mainstream, most known cases, when grandparents are strict or parents are strict and you start dating someone they don't want you to, and you want to be with them, the only plan is to get them out in some way. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
3 months. Was you and Johnny pretty tight? Did you have feelings for him, or just kind of a boyfriend type thing, or?
I have feelings. I still have feelings for him.
I gotcha.
I care about him.
I guess I'm gonna ask a corny question: is it love or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what he told me. After Tybee, we went to Atlanta, and we were on like this, I don't know, it was like this parking lot thing, and we got to see like the whole city.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that when we were sitting up there, that like for a second he looked at me and I looked at him, and he told me that all he could see was just me and then purple around me. And he said like purple is like a sign of love. And he said like ever since then, like it was like love at first sight or something.
That's kind of cute though.
I don't know. I mean, he got married to like this crazy bitch, and then now she's like saying that I'm stalking her when I've only met the girl like twice.
Yeah, I talked to Johnny a couple days ago, and just talking to him, I think she definitely was crazy. So.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. So he sends his regards and all that stuff. So.
Is he doing okay?
No, he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually is better off than you. You know, they weren't that deep or anything. So he didn't.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I could have sworn he did worse than me, because I remember when we were in the bathroom, because he did it with me too, he kept going, and I kept telling him to stop. So
Yeah, maybe this tougher skin, I don't really know.
Right before Cassandra and Johnny had been caught, they decided they didn't want to spend the rest of their lives in jail. As SWAT was approaching the apartment building they were in, they both attempted to take their own lives. Fortunately, the police were able to get them to a hospital, and the doctors were able to save their lives. After hundreds of stitches and casts on both arms, Cassandra was allowed to leave the hospital and go straight to the police station.
Okay.
So I guess let's start from scratch about what happened, starting from when you ran away, I guess. Is that the 31st? Do you remember, or 28th or something like that?
I didn't really run away. My grandma, like, kicked me out.
Okay.
Because, like, this is what happened. Like, I was chilling with Johnny and my other friend Sabrina, and I came home because, it was time for curfew, because I didn't want to violate my probation. So I came home, and my grandpa was asleep, and my grandma got really mad at me, and she was, like, saying, like, oh, if you don't like it here, we're just going to find somewhere else for you to stay. And she just said that out of the blue. Like, she just got really mad for some reason. And so I was just like, if you're going to find another place for me to stay, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to find somewhere else to go. So.
And this was basically when you took off, you came back, your grandparents were home, and I guess that's when you had that argument?
Wait, what?
You just had an argument with your grandma, right?
Mm-hmm. Then I left.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I gotcha. And then when you left, where'd you go to?
I was just staying with Johnny. Like, we were sleeping in his car.
And then, so you're kicking it with Johnny. Where are you kicking it with him at?
We were just all over the place, Bailey. We were just trying to find something to do, just keep, just have something to do, because we don't want to just sit around and do nothing. So, we were finding, like, people to chill with and go to the mall or something.
Was it all your friends you were chilling with, or all his friends, or a combination? Or?
It was sort of like combination between both.
Who are your friends? Is it just Sabrina, or you got other?
I mean, I only have like one other friend, Izzy.
Izzy.
I don't like chilling with like a lot of people, just because I don't trust a lot of people.
I'm the same way. I literally only have a couple friends myself, so she's one of them. So you, so I guess when do you decide to go back to your grandparents' house in the middle of the night?
It was like a couple days after, like 2 or 3 days.
You remember Saturday, Sunday? Do you have an exact?
I don't really remember. Like, I didn't really even know like what day it was.
Okay, so I am going to cut that for a little bit of time. So basically, for about 10 minutes, they are talking to her about the relationship with Johnny, her probation, fights that she got in with her grandmother leading up to it. She didn't want to violate probation, and also how Johnny was actually the person who planned all of the murders and not Cassie.
So there was stuff in front of the door because my grandma normally would block off the back door. So, but I was able to open, so I unlocked the back door. I was able to open the back door a little bit and not have the stuff in front of the door fall and, make a noise. So I was able to like maneuver in, and then I moved the stuff in front of the door, and then I got Johnny in. And then we closed the door and locked it.
And then would you guys you just hang out downstairs, or did you start moving upstairs? Or?
We went upstairs. We didn't immediately go upstairs. Like, we went to the stairs, and then we were like just listening, just hearing what was going on, and we thought everything was good, and then we went upstairs and.
Hold on, did you guys have anything in your hands, or you just?
Yeah, I had what's it called? It's one of those car tool things.
Is it to do a tire, or is it to
tire
fix
iron.
it?
It was a tire iron. So I had one of those.
Where'd you get that at?
Johnny's car. Because he had one in his car.
His Honda or whatever.
And Johnny just used his fist. And he brought a black book bag that had duct tape in it. and it had the tire iron in it, and it had gloves in it because we were also wearing gloves too.
What kind of gloves?
They were like
hospital gloves or regular?
hospital
okay.
gloves.
What color were they? You remember?
Blue.
Okay.
Ish. Yeah, they were blue.
Okay.
So
now you guys are at the stairs, starting to go up the stairs.
yeah.
You actually had the tire iron in your hand, or is it still in the book bag?
I had the tire iron in my hand. We got it out before we went inside the house. So I had it in my hand. And Johnny didn't have any weapon. He just used his fist.
Okay.
So, and then...
So who's first up the stairs? Is it you and he's kind of following you, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go up the stairs. He goes into my grandpa's room, and then I go into my grandma's room. And, yeah.
And then do you hear kind of what's going on over there? And
Yeah.
does that kind of cue you off to, with your grandmother there?
Yeah, he started going at it, and then, I could hear my grandpa just yelling, them fighting, and then I started getting the rush, and then, that's when I started hitting my grandma. She started, screaming and stuff, and...
Was that the first hit?
Yeah.
The back of the head?
Yeah. She bit me.
I think I took a picture of that yesterday, right?
Yeah, she bit me in my finger too, but I forgot which finger. It was on my right hand. I think it was either my middle finger or it was that one.
And when you and your grandmother used to get into it, that's kind of how did she bite you before to kind of get you off her or whatnot?
Yeah, she's bitten me before.
Well, she's bitten you before too.
Yeah, I haven't bitten her, but she's bitten me before.
Okay.
Have you, when you guys are in it, or did you just come up and bite you?
No, when we were in it.
Okay.
I had this mark on my hand from where she bit me for a while.
Where did she bite you that night? On your finger?
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
On my arm, where they took the picture of it, and then that was it.
So you're in the bedroom with your grandmother. When do you meet back up with Johnny? Do you leave your grandmother there, or kind of what happens?
So I started hitting my grandma, and I already had duct tape, and then, Johnny's doing his thing, and, I stopped hearing Johnny doing whatever, and so he comes in the room with me and my grandma, and, he helps me, tie up my grandma with the duct tape, and...
And how did you do that? Is it just her hands, or?
I got her hands, I got her whole head, and then I got her ankles.
Okay, with her hands, I guess.
It was behind her back.
So just like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Johnny helped you tie her up?
Yeah, I mostly did it, but I needed a little bit of help because, she was moving around and stuff, and so he helped me a little bit, and then he went back into my grandpa's room, and then...
What were you doing when you went back in your grandpa's room?
I was still with my grandma, and then...
In her room?
Yeah, and then I dragged her into my grandpa's room, and then Johnny asked me to go get some knives. So I got some knives from downstairs in the kitchen, and I got 3 big butcher knives. I asked her for the code to her safe, because I already knew that she had a safe in her closet. I just didn't know it was in the safe. So,
Did she tell you?
Yeah, she kept saying, I'll give you money, I'll give you my keys, I'll give you anything you want. But, yeah, she just kept
Was she able to talk with the duct tape around her face?
Yeah, she was mumbling. You could still understand her, but, at the same time, you couldn't.
It wasn't her mouth was shut, almost as if...
It was like that.
Okay.
Okay. So, if Johnny was this entire master manipulator of everything, if he was the one that concocted this whole murder plot, he left. He was not in the room. You were still in the room with your grandmother, and you could have stopped. You didn't have to kill her. You didn't have to go through with it. For one, let's go back a little bit. You let Johnny in. So it seems like you're kind of the master... What is it called? Well, for starters, master manipulator, but the mastermind of this whole event, along with... You have that. You have Johnny in another room with your grandfather, and you're alone in the room with your grandmother, And you could have said to yourself, this is too far. But you didn't. So, and I'm like, I cannot wrap my head around the fact that she's so nonchalantly telling this story. Like, very cold. Very just like, yeah, Johnny was in the other room and I needed help, like, duct taping my grandmother, so I needed help, and so then I drug her into the other room, and, you know, I don't know what Johnny was doing. How are you, that is insanity to me.
Is it like she could still move her mouth enough to make the words behind the tape? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we left my grandma sitting there on the floor, and then I got the code to the safe. So Johnny's watching my...
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You are watching your grandmother plead for her life, saying, I'll give you anything. And that could have been a realization factor there, where you're like, this actually is too far. Like, we need to stop. But you didn't. So.
Grandpa and my grandma, and I'm over...
How'd you get that code? Did she tell you guys, or?
She told us.
Okay.
So she told us the code, and, you know, I went in the closet because that's where they kept the safe. So, you know, I go in there, you know, I'm checking out all the stuff, and I grab the book bag, and I just start stuffing the book bag with everything, you know. Like, there was envelopes just filled with money. There was probably about, like, $1,000 that we found in that safe that they were just saving. And...
Did you know about that money, or you just said no?
Well, my grandma, it was kind of weird. Like, she was kind of giving me, like, an idea about it before. Like, she was saying, what if I just gave you $1,000? Would that just make the world a better place? I'm just like, no, I don't want $1,000, you know? So, you know, she kept saying that, and then, like, when I saw it, I was just like, wow, she actually had $1,000 in there. Safe. Like, that's crazy.
So you guys put that stuff in a bag, and then basically Johnny's in your grandpa's room with your grandpa and your grandma in the room. Do you come back in there and say, hey, I got this stuff, or what? Okay.
Yeah, I go back into the room, and I tell them that I got the stuff, and so after that, and then we drag my grandma into the bath.
Just in case y'all didn't know, she made this motion for my my podcast audio only listeners. She drug her hand across her neck, indicating that this is around the time that they had slit their throats. So that audio was cut out on this channel. So
bathroom, and
what was the reason for that? Just to bring her to the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know why we brought her back into the bathroom. I guess we didn't want to bring her into the bedroom.
Okay.
So we just brought her into the bathroom. And then, yeah. And then Johnny... And she, it was kind of creepy because she was, like, scared to die. Like, she shitted herself and peed herself.
Oh, did she?
It was kind of gross. That was really...
So you said the last blow, though.
Are you kidding me? So she said that it was kind of crazy and kind of gross that a person who's in the middle of being murdered shit themselves because they were so scared.
Oh,
was just like the last hit, like that.
Last hit with the tire iron? And who did that? You were Johnny.
Johnny.
Excuse me. And then did you guys pretty much just leave the upstairs, or?
Yeah. Well, we were just. After that, then we closed the doors, and then we were just checking around, seeing if everything was okay. And then I started grabbing my clothes and start stuffing bags with my clothes. And then Johnny's, you know, walking around doing his thing, checking to make sure that they were both dead, and checking to make sure if we didn't forget anything. And yeah, then we left, and then we came back to the house.
When you guys left, where'd you guys go to?
We went over to like Kroger or Publix to go get something to eat, and then we went back to the house, and we just kind of like chilled there.
Did you guys kind of just stay in the house then, or?
Let's commit a murder of the two people who want really good things for me. Let's murder them, but now I'm hungry. So we gotta go get some food real quick. That just shows how little to no empathy this girl has.
Yeah, it was kind of both. We were kind of like in and out of the house for a couple days. It was just me and him. We didn't tell anyone. I mean, I told my friends that my grandparents went on a vacation for like 2 weeks.
Did you call some of your friends ever and say, hey, if you guys want to come over? Because I spoke to some people, and that's just the rumor going out. They said, hey, if you guys want to come over, not for a party or anything, but, you know, I got some money, grandparents are out of town.
After the murders took place, Cassandra and Johnny lived in the home and went about their normal lives. Cassandra went to her karate lessons while Johnny hung out with his friends. They would spend their days shopping and dining at various restaurants. Then they would go home and spend the night only a few feet away from the bodies. The couple continued living like this until they decided they wanted to murder Johnny's family next.
Conversation where you guys had that and you were talking about maybe getting out of town and stuff like that, starting your new life, starting over and whatnot.
Yeah.
How come you guys did stay?
Well, because this was the plan. First, we were gonna get my grandparents. Ooh.
You hot? You hot?
Yeah, I want to give her the smushy things.
Okay.
What?
Your
Yes,
exercise stuff.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so the reason why we stayed in town was because the plan was we were gonna get both of our families. That's why.
Hold on, what?
Okay, so.
Just so chill explaining, we're just gonna get both of our families. We're just gonna kill both of them.
So the plan was that we were both gonna get both of our families. But first we got my grandparents. Then that's why we went over to Johnny's house. And we attacked his sister and her boyfriend because he wanted to kill his family.
Okay.
So that's like, we stayed in town for a couple days because, you know, we wanted to get some money, we wanted to get ready to leave. And then that plan, just going over to his house, kind of just like, it didn't work out at all. It went downhill from there.
No.
My plan just didn't work out. My plan to kill someone just didn't work out.
There seems to be a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
Still though, between your grandparents and then attacking his sister and the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Was that kind of in the plan?
Yeah.
To try to get away with it for the week and then kill them?
Well, we weren't really like going on like a week thing. It was kind of just like a day-to-day kind of thing. Like, what are we going to do today? Sort of thing. But I mean, we wanted to get out of town like, as soon as possible.
Okay.
But just how it all just kind of timed out. Thank you so much. Didn't really like. It just, I don't know. It didn't really work out as we planned it to be.
Okay.
So
there was no. So you guys basically stayed in town after your grandparents because the plan was then to kill Johnny's family and maybe get some more money?
yes.
Okay. And it wasn't like a set schedule on Saturday at 5:55 p.m. we're gonna go kill him, but more of a day-to-day thing?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, we were just planning on doing it at night mainly.
Okay. So what made you guys pick that night that you did it? And not any of the other nights before? Was anybody gonna be at the house that shouldn't have been, or were you waiting on someone in particular to be there with them? Who's in Johnny's family? Does he got a mom and a dad?
Just a mom, 2 sisters, and that's it.
Okay.
And yeah, we were really like planning on like what time. We were just kind of like just going how it went, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing how it would go, and then it just kind of went like really downhill from there.
Okay.
With the bear spray and everything, the baseball bat.
The what spray?
We had like bear repellent that we bought from Bass Pro Shop
What was that for?
for just to like get them away or to like kind of like knock them out.
Okay.
That stuff is strong. Like
Yeah.
this stuff. Oh my gosh.
We have to get sprayed with like the obviously non-bear spray, and that stuff is strong. So did you spray it on him?
Yeah, we both did. Well, I mean, Johnny did more. He sprayed more because my bottle stopped working for some reason, so I couldn't like really use it, and you know, it was.
You see how she kind of rolled her eyes after that? You see how she was like, kind of upset that hers didn't work. Not only is she like mad that her plans are not like working out, but she's sorry, I was not close to the microphone. She is telling this like we're on FaceTime. Like I can't. This girl's pissing me off.
It was so crazy. Like, it was just all rushed. Like, it was just, the spray was going everywhere, and it was like your eyes were burning, like your whole body was burning. It was so painful. Like.
And who did you guys spray? Who got sprayed with that?
One of Johnny's sisters and her boyfriend.
Was anybody else home?
No.
Okay. Were you waiting on them to get home?
Yeah.
Like that was the plan?
Yeah.
Because you obviously waited at your house to make sure Grandma went to bed, and to both, obviously. I assume your intention was to catch them while they were sleeping.
Yeah.
And then with Johnny's house, you went before everybody else got back for the night?
Yeah, because like our plan was like...
Why didn't you want to attack them while they were sleeping?
I'm not sure why we didn't do that, but he kind of said it would be a lot easier if we kind of just waited for them to each come home, so we could each of them
One at a
just
time.
knock them out. Yeah, and it didn't really go like that.
Okay.
Did you guys talk much about the incident actually at Johnny's or no?
No, we kind of segued into it just because I was wondering why they stayed in town so long, but I didn't realize that was the reason, was because they were planning on killing Johnny's family too.
Mm-hmm.
Whose idea was that? Was that also talked about at Peachtree Ridge Park?
Yes, that was Johnny's idea, because then that's the reason why he asked me if I wanted to kill my grandparents, because he wanted to already kill his family. And
Okay. Oh, I paused it at like a really crazy part. Like she's literally looking directly in the camera, so that was kind of creepy. So apparently, the reason why let's just go ahead and kill Cassie's grandparents was because Johnny already wanted to kill his family. I don't know how true this is, of course. This could just be her trying to make herself look a little bit better. The plan was originally kill Johnny's family first, and then we'll get her, but it ended up not working out that way. It ended up working out where they killed her grandparents first, and then they were going to go kill Johnny's family.
he was like, let's be Bonnie and Clyde.
You said that?
Yeah. I was like, okay.
That's what I first said.
Okay.
Because I'm the one that got called out to the scene initially, and that's the first thing that came out of my mouth. So.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Have you seen the movies?
Of course.
You have or you haven't?
Yes, of course I have.
Of course.
Of course.
You're too young. I didn't
I'm
think.
29 and I haven't.
Thank you.
Yeah, my mom was really into like old movies, so
Okay.
as I was a child, I used to watch like a lot of old movies.
I guess with your grandparents, then we can move on to Johnny's. I mean, was there like ever a snapping point, or, I mean, do you feel bad about what happened? Do you think she deserves what happened, or what? How are you feeling right now? I'm not in your shoes.
With my grandparents?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel terrible. I mean, I feel like the worst person on the planet, but at the same time, it was kind of just like, I don't know. I mean, there was so much stuff going on between me and my grandparents already. Like, I couldn't handle it anymore, like,
Like you said with his follow-up question, though, I mean, did they deserve it? Did Grandma deserve it? Did Grandpa deserve it? Or was it kind of just more getting away from your own family?
it was more kind of just getting away.
Okay. So you don't think that Grandma did anything?
I mean, I was pretty pissed at her for, the couple times that, like, she would call the cops on me for, no reason sometimes, or like, just like a lot of the stuff that she would say would be really offensive because it would be about my mom.
Who did you have because your grandparents are essentially your parents at this point.
Yeah.
And they've been taking care of you for how many years, and you live with them. It's a day-to-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you have a more contentious relationship with? Who was the one you were butting heads with all the time?
My grandma.
Your grandma more so than your grandpa?
Yeah, I couldn't talk to my grandpa. Like, I did not have a real good relationship with him. Like, before we did, but then I don't know, like I wasn't able to talk to him as much, and he kind of like pushed me out.
Pushed you out of his life a little bit. Do you think that maybe was it Johnny's plan to you get your grandma and he get your grandpa, or did you want to kind of get your grandma yourself because of your relationship, like your strained relationship?
It was sort of Johnny's idea more. I mean, I don't know.
No. Here, that's a good pausing point. I've been mad at my mom before. I have been mad at my dad before. We butted heads around this age for me, at least between like 11 to 18, I bet. 17, mainly. 18, I was in college. Never, not once in my life, did I say, I'm actually so pissed at you, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to make this devious plan to murder you. Never in a million years has that ever crossed my mind, even with anyone who I was so mad at, ever. For starters, let's go over her body language. It's very relaxed. She's not crying. She says, I feel really terrible. I feel like the worst person in the world. She couldn't really say words. She had a lot of ums and ers and wasn't really making full sentences after that question, on top of her saying that it was Johnny's idea for her to attack her grandma. No, it wasn't.
I don't think like they deserved it, but I just wanted to get away from all of that, like I was so tired of dealing with my family. It felt like I didn't even have a family. Like it felt like they weren't there. Like even though they tried to.
But okay. What does that mean? They were trying to help you. Your grandma was trying to give you positive influence because you're a terrible kid. And you even had just admitted that they didn't deserve it. You just wanted to get away. I think it's called legally emancipated. Like whenever you're under the age of 18, like being legally emancipated from your family, if that is something that you need to do. I want to say Amanda Bynes did that. Let's actually look it up. Yeah, okay, so I was correct. Legal emancipation is a legal process that gives a minor the legal independence from their parents or legal guardians before they reach the age of majority. So it grants the minor certain rights and responsibilities, no longer under parental authority, new responsibilities. So Amanda Bynes tried. She didn't actually get it, but she tried. I think I remember that from Quiet on Set. Okay, let's continue.
Help. It's just like the way that they were kind of doing it was like, I don't know, it didn't really work out. So I don't know. I started feeling.
Was your mom ever part of the plan?
Of killing them?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to.
No, was it something you and Johnny discussed, or is it something you just thought of?
Well, I mean, we did discuss it, but then Johnny was like, no, we can't waste our time on them. And I was like, okay. But I wanted to.
It appears that Cassandra was tired of dealing with her family, and her intentions were not only to kill her grandparents, but her mother as well. Had their plan been successful, Cassandra and Johnny would have murdered 7 people by the time they were done. Fortunately for their family, the only people that were murdered were Cassandra's grandparents.
What about you guys had
I don't know if that was the best thing to say. Fortunately, only 2 out of the 9 died. I think I would have said, unfortunately, although 2 people were murdered, 7 lives were saved or something. I don't know if I would have said, fortunately, the other people were alive. Yeah, I don't think that was the best thing to say, but okay.
scale and stuff like that in the bag?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Johnny's or yours?
That was Johnny's. The scale?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Johnny's.
Does he sell or just buy or what?
We were just using it just to make sure no one was like
Ripping off?
Yeah, ripping us off. Because sometimes that's what people would do. Because, yeah, we were smoking weed, so.
We're not the drug police.
we were smoking weed, and sometimes our do you know what a plug is, right? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know.
I think she thinks we're really old.
No. I didn't know if you guys knew like that term. So yeah, like sometimes like our plug would like short us, and we just wanted to make sure if like she ever did, So.
Did she ever short you or no?
Only a couple times. I mean, the reason why she was shorting us was because she was gonna get me a phone. So every time like we would buy from her, she would put in money to get me a phone.
What kind of connect was she that she could get you a phone too? She work at a phone store?
No. She's just this old lady.
An old lady?
Yeah, she's like this old 80-something-year-old lady. She sells drugs. She's crazy. I call her Mama Bear. She was almost like a mom to me. She's pretty cool.
Is it at that mobile home place you buy that dope from or no? Isn't there a mobile home? I don't even know what it's called. I don't think it's the greatest area. Isn't there a mobile home off of Seaver or you have no idea what I'm talking
Where does she live? We're not gonna arrest her.
She lives over in Swanee.
I forgot what it's called. What the area they call that.
I don't know. But yeah, so yeah.
Well, give us a second. You gotta use the bathroom or anything or no? Sure. Even eating at McDonald's?
Okay, so I did skip forward. She talked about having a rush of wanting to go ahead and get the murders over with. How Johnny's mom was not nice to him. Whatever. And earlier she did say that no one was in the home, that they didn't have anything, like it was just, they just lived there planning their next move. But the detective is coming in to present evidence that she's lying. Apparently she threw multiple parties.
As you know, I'm a cool dude. So is she, okay? I've been doing this longer than you've been alive, okay? I'm a no bullshitter. I don't know what those DA investigators, I don't know what type of, how many times they talk to you or that. We're different in that aspect, okay? I'm cool as shit with you if you're cool as shit with me. But once lying and stuff like that starts, I have a problem. I believe that there were people at that house.
It kind of in the way that she speaks as well, again in like a way to be like, hey, we're cool with each other, right? Like he just said, cool as shit. But I think he's leading that up to be like, look, we were cool, but you lied to me, so.
Okay.
If it was probably only sunshine.
I just want no if or anything like that. Unfortunately, you're in this, okay? There's no.
She's so open to talk about what she did, murdering her grandparents, and what she did, like very open. But now she's hesitant to say that people were in the house.
I'm saving face right now,
So a lot of this was on the news, okay, as you could imagine, okay? So he's been getting phone calls about you inviting people over to your house, okay? So who was there?
The only person who I can think of would be Sunshine and her boyfriend.
Okay, so Sunshine has a boyfriend. What's Sunshine's boyfriend's name?
Alex Peterson.
Alex Pearson?
Peterson, yeah.
Peterson. White dude, black dude?
White.
How old is he?
20.
Where's he stay at?
Like right down the road from me.
Golf receiver?
Yeah.
Now again, you're saying you think.
You see her eyes going back and forth from the detective to the paper. She's really uncomfortable.
They showed up. I mean, you have to. Is that video from during that time frame? Do you know?
It might have been. I don't know.
So, I mean, you remember pretty good details. I don't see how you forget this.
Is your grandma gonna let? Real talk. Is your grandma gonna let Johnny, Alex, and Sunshine over at her house?
No, they didn't. She didn't even know about them.
Okay.
I mean, she knew about Johnny, but she didn't know about.
So for all these people to be inside your house, we're gonna both have to assume that it was after you guys killed your grandparents.
I'll be straight up, dude. We heard about a conversation that took place inside there where someone was bitching about the smell. And Johnny's like, no, dude, it's just sewage. There's a sewage problem upstairs. Is this not?
That never came up.
Now, that could be rumors. You know how when kids talk, rumors.
That never was a conversation that came up. The only people who came over to the house was Sunshine and Alex.
So they did come over to the house after you killed your grandparents?
Yeah, I mean, all of it was like one big rush. You know, I don't remember what day they came over, but
I'm not asking for a day. I'm just asking for in 7 days after you guys killed your grandparents and before you went to go attack Johnny's family.
yeah.
Sunshine and Alex were at your house.
Yes.
What did you guys do?
We just smoked some weed.
Okay. Did you order food?
No. If we got
Something that I'm very confused about is her being like, yeah, and I duct taped my grandma and I drug her and, you know, we slit her throat and blah, blah, blah. But she's cowering down and talking really low and talking about smoking weed. Loud voice, this is what we did, blah, blah, blah. But she's like, what did y'all do? Smoke some weed and... Why are you so, like, now?
hungry, we would have left and got something to eat. But the conversation with the smell and the sewage, that...
Well, just don't hang up on that. That's just rumors. People in high school talk a lot of crap, and that's just rumors that I heard. I knew somebody. I've seen videos and things like that, and I pretty much knew somebody was in that house. Why would you protect them and not tell me about it?
Let me ask you a question. You killed Grandma and Grandpa with Johnny. Johnny, you said, glues and what we know to be caulks the doors. Was that immediately after, or was that before people came over?
That was before people came over.
Okay, so...
I even poured bleach on them before he did that to the door.
You poured bleach on Grandma and Grandpa?
Yeah.
And you left one of the bleach bottles in the bathroom next to Grandma?
Yeah.
Why did you pour bleach on them?
Johnny told me to.
For the smell? Okay. So, when did you pour the bleach on them?
It was like a couple days after. Like, it was like before we left the house to go chill with some friends. Like, we did it before anyone came over to the house.
Okay. So, you kill Grandma and Grandpa, you basically grab all your shit and put it downstairs. Did that happen the same day?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, you're chilling downstairs with Johnny. You end up, we're like, let's have some people over. Johnny tells you to pour bleach on them.
Yeah.
You pour bleach on them.
Yeah.
Where did you put Grandpa's bleach bottle?
We use the same bleach bottle.
Okay. So you bleach Grandpa first,
Yeah.
then you bleach Grandma, and then you throw the bottle in the trash can. In the bathroom?
I don't remember throwing it in.
It's like, it's more like a Windex bottle than it is like a tub of bleach. Okay. And then Johnny caulks the doors
Yes.
after you bleach them,
Yes.
several days after you kill them.
Yes.
And that was because it smelled and you were having people over.
We weren't intending to have any people over. We only had Sunshine and Alex come over just that one day because we were like, you know, it was only a couple days after, so we thought it was going to be okay. Like, it didn't smell in the house.
Do they know that your grandparents were upstairs?
No.
They have no idea.
They had no idea. I told them that they were on vacation.
Did they go upstairs at all?
No.
How long did they stay there for?
Just for like a few hours. They came really late at night.
Who else came over?
It was just Sunshine and
You
Alex.
said we only thought Sunshine and Alex were coming.
It was just them. No one else came to the house.
What the detectives find interesting is how easily Cassandra was able to lie about having people over. It wasn't until they showed her evidence that she was lying that she finally told the truth. If lying is that easy for Cassandra, what else is she lying about? As I stated before, the police would eventually find out that Cassandra was the mastermind behind the murders, and if she had it her way, there would have been 7 bodies instead of 2.
Okay, let me ask you this then. You literally have showed no emotion towards your grandparents, and I don't have a problem. Like, I don't know the life that you were having, and I guess I can kind of understand that you wanted to sever that part of your life and start over again, okay? But why are you showing emotion with when I brought up Sunshine? What the hell is this chick? You know what I'm saying?
She's just a close friend. She was there most of the time when I was going through the stuff with my parents. So she's really close to me. Not as close as Izzy though. Like,
Did Izzy come over?
no,
Does she know what happened?
no.
Did you tell anyone what happened? Not a person?
No one knew. I told everyone that my grandparents left on vacation.
Why were you even telling people that your grandparents left? To let them come over?
Because my grandma kept texting everyone saying to look out for me.
What do you mean?
To see where I was. Because, after she kicked me out, she started texting all of my friends and everyone saying, look out for Cassie. Tell her to come home. And then I told people I went home, and then I told them that they weren't home. They left a note and the key saying that they were going on vacation for 2 weeks.
Did you text anyone on Grandma's phone?
Yes.
Pretending to be Grandma?
Yes.
Who did you text?
Just Sylvia.
Okay. And who's that to you?
She's a family member in California.
Okay. So you texted Sylvia. What did you say to Sylvia?
She kept asking, is everything okay? Because she just started freaking out, like, that my grandma wasn't texting her. And so I started texting her saying everything's fine.
Where did you take Grandma's phone from? Was it on her nightstand? Was it in her purse?
It was on her nightstand.
Okay. Did you take it before or after you hit her with the tire iron?
It was, like, in the middle.
In the middle. So she couldn't call 911?
Yeah. We made sure that they couldn't call 911.
No one else came to the house?
Cassandra and Johnny would both be charged with 2 counts of murder. The family decided they did not want to go through the trial process and relive those terrible moments.
The rest is talking about their plea and things like that. So let's kind of go over what just happened. And yeah, okay. So in summary of everything that we just heard, Cassie and Johnny brutally murdered her grandparents. The two sealed up the door of the room that the bodies were inside to mask the smell and just to let them rot in their bedroom for roughly a week. Around this time, the couple smoked weed and had friends come over to hang out with them while the 2 bodies were just rotting upstairs. The couple also stole $1,000 from her grandparents' safe and went out for dinner and stuff. Just absolutely had no remorse, and they planned on killing Cassie's mother, and they planned on killing Johnny's family, and wanted to be Bonnie and Clyde. So both Cassie and Johnny did not go to trial. They did take their plea bargain that they had and pled guilty to aggravated assault, first-degree murder, armed robbery, and theft. Both were sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences with the possibility of parole after 60 years, plus 21 years to be served concurrently. So Johnny did ask for forgiveness at the sentencing by saying, how sorry he was, but Cassie was really silent, didn't say anything at all. Allegedly, she cried, but from just her interrogation, I bet she only cried about her friends, maybe. Cassie was 17 years old and Johnny was 19 years old. If they are allowed parole in 60 years, they will be 80 years old, roughly. But I do doubt that they will be let out because of the seriousness, the lack of remorse, the lack of empathy. And they were both so young. And for Cassie, for what? Because people were trying to help you become a better person. And Johnny was just upset with his parents. Like, are y'all telling me right now that y'all have never been upset with your parents? Around this age, of course, you butt heads with your parents the most. Like, teenage years suck. I'm not looking forward to being a mom one day and having to go through that. Like, to my mom, I am sorry that I was a menace. But I never wanted to kill you. Ever. Please know that. I will never do that. It's not in my bones. I just couldn't. The couple, Wendy and Randall, were both known to be very kind, willing to help others, just really well-respected members of the community, and nobody had anything negative to say about it. And it makes me sad, too, because, I don't have any sets of grandparents anymore, and I wish that I still had them. So it makes me sad that she just took them away because they were nice to her and trying to give her genuine discipline of what you should and should not do. Like, how could you just like piss your life away like that just because someone's trying to lead you down the correct path? So dumb. What are we thinking of today's case? Let me know what y'all think down below, and let me know if y'all like the reaction of the interrogation styled video. I kind of wanted to keep it chill because I have had like not the best mental health week, and I feel like that was kind of fun to be able to sit down and analyze the interrogation. Thank you guys so much for watching, or if you're on the audio only, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate the engagement that I get weekly, and again, I'm sorry for missing last week, but I appreciate everyone reaching out, asking if I'm coming back. I am. I just needed a minute. But yeah, again, thank you so much. Please be sure to rate the podcast and like and subscribe if you're here on YouTube. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much as always, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.